Hi Maniacs. Today let's open this ETB of Phantasmal Flames and talk a bit about Pokemon, Pokemon business and life in general. And stay tuned for later in this video where I show you exactly how you can win your very own Phantasmal Flames Elite Trainer box. First up, let's crack it. Player's guide. Charizard sleeves. Charizard coin. Black Star promo and card dividers. Energy pack. Dice set. And our pack selection is 9 packs of Phantasmal Flames. So a bit has happened in the Pokemon market since we last spoke, and I'm sorry for being kind of MIA on the YouTube channel as well as on Instagram and TikTok. I was actually quite sick a week ago and ended up being hospitalized for a bit of time. But I'm feeling much better now and I'm finally back to business. So I'm so happy to be here and to discuss what's going on in the market and what I'm doing business-wise, because I think a lot of stuff is kind of moving in the Pokemon market at the current stage we're at. I feel like a lot of at least smaller online businesses are actually shutting down, as far as I'm seeing, at least in like the smaller Danish market, maybe Nordic market. Oh, we have a full art in the very first pack. So yeah, what I'm seeing is that a few people have decided to kind of change up their Pokemon businesses or completely gone out of business over this past few like weeks or maybe month or two. And we're still seeing the market kind of correct, dipping, crashing, whatever you prefer to call it. I would say that correcting is probably the right terminology, even though I also say crash, because I do feel like when we are seeing a big dip in price, it kind of feels like a crash. But of course we have to get, a lot lower prices than MSRP to really get there. But I still feel like it's kind of an interesting movement to see that some people are choosing to do something completely different business-wise or completely shutting down business. That always feels like a move towards something new, and maybe that can create some space in the market. I mean, we have been talking a lot about distribution on this channel and how that's definitely a big win, but I will also acknowledge that if it's very easy to get distribution at one point, that's because, of course, the hype to get the products won't be as high. It's kind of the easiest market mechanic to understand, so of course that would probably make sense to a lot of you. But it's just something where I personally look at it like super positively. Like if I can get distribution, I can do things my way. We can do ribbon ships in a different scale. We can do a lot of things towards scaling the business in a different way. But of course we do have to acknowledge that, Pokemon would have to be maybe less mainstream or less on people's mind in terms of being able to really get that distribution, get that much product, because the reason that hasn't been available is of course because of the demand. So I think it makes a lot of sense that we can't really win on all fronts if we do have distribution like as something that's easily accessible. It's probably because the products are less sought after, at least for a period of time. We have seen Pokemon kind of rise and dip a lot over the years. So it's not to say that it would be terrible for market in general, but I just think that it's something we have to consider when doing business and doing content. And before we move on with ripping the next half of the packs from this ETB, I wanted to tell you a bit more about how you can win your very own Phantasmal Flames ETB. Thank you so much to Tradera for sponsoring this segment of the video. And thank you so much, Tradera, for sponsoring the stream that we will have live on December 11th. That's this Thursday. We will be ripping an entire booster box of Phantasmal Flames. You'll actually be able to save 50 DKK off your first order with Tradera, and that means you can actually get a pack for 5 DKK, which is less than €1. So I would definitely go through the link in the description and get your pack. But more about the giveaway right here. If you want to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is list 2 items for sale on Tradera using the promo code Flinamania. As you can see on the screen, you'll have to put in the promo code when you are listing the items. Then you'll be entered into the giveaway after listing not 1 but 2 items on Tradera for sale. So follow the link in the description to open your account today, and while you're at it, might as well go in and buy a pack for the Live Break, since you'll get a pretty good discount when you're a first-time customer as well. So if you want to win an ETB and get super cheap packs, join Tradera today to learn more. I've seen that a lot of people seem to be more on the content game these days, and as I've been talking about before, and which is the obvious reason that I'm showing up here, is that I think content is definitely the future of driving sales, creating leads, and doing business. We have been discussing this numerous times on the channel already, so it's not really anything new or completely hot take. But I do think that a lot of people are joining the content game and really valuing what it actually means for your channel to do content and for your business. Oh, that's so pretty! And I guess the reason a lot of people are joining the content game, one, is probably because everyone and their mom is talking about exactly how much it does for sales, brand recognition, marketing, whatever. But I also think it's because it works. I don't think a lot of us would be discussing how well it is or how important it is to have a community and to have a platform and being active. If it wasn't really, a big part of the game, and if it didn't really matter. So I think that it is a sign that we're doing the right thing, and that it definitely is something to look into and to really spend time on in terms of being productive with your business, getting sales done, driving customers. I do think this is a big part of running business in general. I'm not sure if I'm seeing anything, but it looks super dark. No, the holobait is real. And finally, I also want us to kind of discuss state of the union, as I would like to call it. What's really happening within my business, what I'm thinking about the future. Because of course I'm preaching a lot of positivity, even though we are seeing a change in the market. And I know that it's kind of scary. In itself, it's kind of scary to see these changes. And personally, I'm of course not necessarily too psyched about it either. I do of course mean everything that I say in terms of distribution being more accessible, us being able to do business a completely different way. Maybe it will thin out some of the competition even. So of course I mean, oh my god, it's sticky. EX, cool. So yeah, I'm 100% serious about it being a good time for opportunity. Maybe we can, get closer to actually getting the distribution needed to succeed as a business. I'm talking both for myself and anyone out there wanting to start your own business or maybe scale your own Pokemon business. But I do think that it is a scary time. We have to figure out exactly what to do with stock that we have now. At least for me, I have quite a lot of booster boxes bought at a pretty high premium, because that is what the market was looking like a few months ago, back when I was last doing my bigger purchases. The last 2 months time, I would say, at least since November, I haven't really been buying anything in, because I do see that the market changing is probably not the best time to really invest, because I do believe that in a very short time I'll be able to get the same products for a lot cheaper. I think that's quite important to understand, so you don't necessarily go out and spend a lot more money than needed to just get the exact same products and then not being able to sell them or get the margins that you need, right? So for me, of course, there is a few things that you have to take into consideration during a market shift like this, and it's not all positive, or at least not all easy. So maybe don't buy a lot in the current market unless it's for ripping, having fun, doing ribbonships, anything that kind of makes sense margin wise or hobby wise, like it's fun, you enjoy it, it makes sense. But from a business perspective, I would hold back and maybe I wouldn't necessarily just fire sell everything, because that is also why the prices drop so rapidly and things become kind of weird in the market, is that if everyone started fire selling everything because we're seeing a dip in the market, then the prophecy kind of makes itself come true, right? So I do think that it's important that we kind of keep our head cool and don't just fire sell everything, but maybe being smart about what you sell and how. Maybe if you have a booster box or two that you have bought at a pretty high premium or at a price where, market is just not there anymore, maybe try to do some ribbon ship where you can actually sell with a bit of a premium for the ribbon ship service side of things, or I don't know, rib it for YouTube video. Of course, we do hear a lot of creators saying that you can't really make money back ribbing product, and I do agree that's probably not the best way to go about it. But I still think it's quite important that we are trying to keep the wheels turning, making sure that we actually are making money while we can. So be smart about what you're selling and how, and then of course you can always, keep stuff in the basement or wherever it's secure. And Pokemon will rise in value over time regardless. So there's a lot of things to do, but in terms of being actively in business, I would say be smart about what you are keeping, what you're selling, and see if you can do something good about it. Remember to join the giveaway at Tradera, and I hope to see you guys at the live stream this Thursday. It is the 11th of December, as I've mentioned many times now. Please join. We will be live on Twitch and TikTok. So get your live break packs today and see if you can hit something better than me. I still have not hit the Charizard, so I think it's about time, right? Hopefully I'll see you both enter the giveaway and at the live stream. And anyways, I hope that I'll see you at least in the very next video here on the channel. Make sure that you are subscribed and ring the bell notification and like the video if you enjoy the content. And make sure that you follow me on all other social platforms. I think you would like to check the video out that is on the screen right now. So go check it out, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye!